What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we're getting started in some more RuneScape. We're gonna get some more upgrades. Let's get into it. Let's get IronMan. The first thing I did was head over to the city of and upgraded all of my necromancy armor pieces with the harmonic plates that I got from Hermod, which I didn't know that I didn't need those for the lantern and gauntlet. So now we have level 70 DPS gear. I returned back to the wilderness to kill some green dragons. This way I could gather a bunch of dragon bones and get my defense up all at the same time. So I came to Xanaris where I would get my next Slayer task. This time I'll be facing mutated Zygamites, which means I'm going to need some fungicide to face them. At the Zygamites, I didn't get any loot, no levels or anything, so nothing exciting, unfortunately, but I'm not that surprised, but it's gains either way. Anyway, let's head over to the player-owned farms where I could look into getting some farming level or at least experience. Over at the sheep farm, there was nothing really to report. Everything hasn't grown up yet, so I'm still waiting on them. But let's head over to the bees and see what many levels we could get off of that at least. So while I was over here at the bees, I almost, so close, got the level that I desperately wanted. As you can see, I was very slim of getting in. So I went over to the farming patch and did my harvest all my onions and planted some watermelon, along with planting my one ranner seed, which means I want to get some more ranner seeds eventually. But I ending up at Catherby and harvesting there, getting the level that I needed. I was now level 58 farming. Remember me saying that I needed a ranner seeds or some herbs? Well, I went over to the Slayer Master here in Bertharp and grabbed a leaf-bladed spear. This way I can face off with the turfs, or however you say them, over at the Fremnik Providence. Now, I don't think they drop seeds, but I'm gonna give this a try anyway. I did gain some herbs, and check out my log here. I got a few of the log done for the Slayer creatures. It was time I head over to Draenor, where I'll get to level 51 thieving by pickpocketing the master farmers so I could gain some seeds. This was honestly the best way I could get some seeds because I could get more ranner seeds for more prayer potions in the future. And now it was time to start the quest called the Gnome Village. I made my way through the maze of the village to speak to King Bullard, who will then inform me that the war between the Khazard and the gnomes is not going well, and that they are in desperate trouble. They thought it may be a good idea to take the sacred tree orbs to the battlefield to protect the gnomes. However, the Khazard got to it before they could deploy it, and thus leaving the village defenseless. So I'm tasked with, at my best effort, on getting the orb back, and I would need to speak to the Commander Monty by the catapults, who will inform me that they cannot get a good enough shot to get into the fortress to retrieve their sacred orb. I would then need to go find the scouts. There's like 3 of them, and I would need to get the coordinates so I can shoot this catapult or ballista at the fortress so I can retrieve this orb. The first striker was greatly wounded and wasn't doing too well, but he was able to give me the coordinates that I needed. The next gnome has the coordinates, and luckily he was able to get away. The last gnome was suffering from some sort of trauma. He could not tell me the coordinates that I needed to shoot this thing. So I reported to the commander and guessed the last coordinates. Eventually I broke through. And so I reported to the commander, and now it was time to make my siege into the fortress, where I would be attacked by a few Khazard soldiers and then eventually up to the ladder to search the chest and found the orb. And so I returned to the king and gave him the orb. However, the warlord broke through, which means he has the other orbs. So you guessed it, it was time for me to face this warlord. And so I headed north to where the warlord had retreated and retrieved the orb by defeating him. And upon returning to the king with the orbs, he said that the tree has many properties and that I was going to be allowed to use the tree's teleportation system And that was quest complete. I was rewarded 11,450 attack experience, obviously the access to the tree's teleportation system, and the gnome amulet protection, leaving me with a total of 53 quest points. I figured it was time for me to upgrade my magic gear, so I went over to Edgeville at the, what do you say his name, Ozark, I guess, and got a mystic top. After that, I went over to the Champions Guild, went upstairs, and look what I found. Mystic hats, mystic bottoms, gloves, and wands and orbs, along with the gloves. This means I have a full set of mystic, which is a huge upgrade from Batwing. I came to the fight cave pretty unprepared. I wasn't trying to finish the fight cave by no means. It was just a good training spot for me. But I got the 6 deep magic, which was my goal this whole entire time this week. I arrived at the major arena and talked to Cullerton. I accepted his challenge of a duel in the major arena. Obviously I won, and I was able to go down into the pool and get the Gothic staff. But now it's time for me to unlock the new spells with the staff, the god spells. Along with that, unlocking the Gothic's cape. So I needed to kill a bunch of these guys for 100 times in order to unlock it. I needed to cast a spell. So let's get to it. But hey, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I don't feel like I got a ton done, but I am in a step in the right direction as far as prayer potions, magic armor, even the necromancy armor. I still got a long ways to go by no means. But hey, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, smash it if it's something you're into, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.